Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. Joining me today is Jamel Thomas. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. The weather's beautiful today, so I can't complain.
Lovely, lovely. We love that. All right. Well, it's so awesome to have you here with us. And how we like to kick things off here usually is just have our guests introduce themselves to our audience and let them know a little bit about your background and your experience.
Okay, well, hi everyone. My name is Jamel Thomas, and I run a farm called Melanin Farms out here in Bowie, Maryland. And we are a sustainable teaching farm. So we grow produce, but our main goal is to teach everyday people how to grow their own food. And it's our part, it's the part that we do to battle food insecurity, especially in places where there are food deserts. We want to be able to empower people to be secure in what they're eating and know where their food is coming from.
Certainly, and that is so important as agriculture is the basis of human civilization, and
Absolutely.
it's always been important for humans to be able to produce their own food. And as that means of production has gotten bigger and bigger and further away from the individual, a lot of us have lost that spark,
Absolutely.
and being able to do that. So this is so important to have a space where people are able to come and learn how to produce their own food in an organic way, and one that certainly is focused on ending food insecurity altogether. Tell me how you got involved with this and your love for agriculture and creating Melanin Farms.
So it's a funny story because it's not actually my background. I grew up
Mhm.
in Southern Maryland, and when
Mhm.
I was younger, my father and I used to keep a garden every year, and so he kind of taught me about gardening, and I actually went to school for film. So I'm
Mhm.
also a filmmaker, and several years ago, about 6 or so years ago now, I had just wrapped a project and I had all this time on my hands and, so much energy I put into my film, and I had nothing to do. And so I said, well, I'm going to start a garden. Um, and that really snowballed into, looking at like the sustainable movement, looking
Mhm.
at regenerative agriculture. Climate change is something that's always been, very important to me. I mean, I'm a
Mhm.
millennial, so we were all in college during the
Yeah.
inconvenient truth, era. And so, the more that I got into it, the more that I learned about, especially around my community where, there are food deserts where people don't have access to fresh foods.
Mhm.
It became more and more important to me to start, a movement to really impact community members directly. And so it was my way of kind of blending my love for farming with
Mhm.
giving back to the earth and giving back to the community. So I went down this rabbit hole, and I'm still happily tumbling.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And of course, Millennium Form affords, you provide, these type of services to people. You're located out there in Bowie, Maryland. That
Yes.
is wonderful. And I watched the video that's also there, and you talk a lot about, you know, um, giving back to the community in that specific way, and wanting to kind of enrich Prince George's County in that way, and having people being able to learn this and know this. And of course, through this there are gardening classes and all of that. Tell me about some of those Melanin Farms things that people can get involved with when they come there.
Yeah, so we offer several different classes.
Hmm.
We offer gardening basics, which
Hmm.
is geared towards adults. We offer a gardening basics for kids class. We also offer that class for school field trips and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, And then we offer some more specialty classes on companion planting, soil
Mm.
basics, like being able to, to build up your ecosystem from the ground up, because that's really what it's all about. And then we also teach a class on, identifying problems. So all of our classes are concept-based learning. And, the biggest reason is because a lot of times people, maybe they start gardening and then, something goes wrong and they think, oh, it's not for me. Oh, I don't have a green thumb. And so what we want to focus on is the process, is learning, really about nature, and about what plants need, and about, the things and problems that you might encounter, so that, if something does go wrong, which, nature's wont to be random,
Yeah.
then you can kind of build off of that, and you can continue the journey of growing your own food without that discouragement. So we want to make things easy and accessible for people.
Certainly, certainly. And for anyone who may be wondering, why, planting their own food and, gardening and investing in agriculture and all of that is good for sustainability and the environment. Talk about that some more for me.
So, like you were saying, the foundation of our survival as humans has been agriculture. It's been using the earth to sustain ourselves. And one thing that gardening, well, many things actually come with, gardening as far as benefits. Being able to be out in nature actually does wonders for your mental health.
Yes.
And that's something that's really important. There's no better feeling than, picking off that fresh, ripe tomato that you grew yourself, that you poured into this plant that you loved for 60 days, 70 days. And then you can kind of, you literally reap what you sow. It also has been shown to improve cognitive ability. So, as you age and as our brains mature, being able to be flexible and really observe and listen to nature and what it's telling us and the things that it does, it actually has been shown to improve short and long-term memory and cognitive ability. The vitamin D is always great. It helps you absorb calcium when you're out in the sun safely. And then on top of that, gardening is, that's your gym membership. Gardening is a full body workout. I know.
I love it.
So yeah, I want to share that. And especially for families, because I know we've spent the last 2 years, we spent a lot of time inside,
Yeah.
And being able to kind of adjust, what family time looks like, and being able to build something together as a family is really important. It solves a lot of problems, when everybody's got to put in work.
Definitely. Talk to me about the name Melanin Farms. How did you come up with that?
So Jamelle. So it's kind of going back to, the family aspect. My mom's outside right now. Before I came in, we're transitioning the rotational garden for the fall season that we're getting ready to grow. And so this really has been an effort from, everyone in my tribe, like my friends and family, my whole crew have in some way, shape or form contributed to it. And so, that's the kind of colloquial slang, for Black folks. It's like melanin, and that's what I really wanted to capture, because it is, at the end of the day, I'm about, Black liberation, and having the Black community succeed. And, this is the way that I want to make an impact.
Very, very important. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that is so important, especially when it comes to, we said, agriculture is the basis of our society. And so when it comes to owning land, tilling the land, being able to have control of the land, and therefore that agriculture, these are things that, historically, have been stymied when it comes
Right.
to Black people, and
Right.
systemically and actively, able to kind of take that out of our hands, or the
Hmm.
hands of the community. So of course, it's really, really important to be able to instill, this type of thing into our Black community and for our families, and kind of understand the importance of that together.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things that I noticed kind of in my journey of, permaculture and regenerative
Hmm.
agriculture, there were a lot of people who didn't look like us,
Hmm.
that are going to these different places in the world, and they're gathering, these ancient kind of indigenous practices, and practices from Africa, and
Hmm.
places that places where we came from, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then they're bringing it back to the US, and they're charging an arm and a leg,
Yeah.
to reteach people the same practices that, that their ancestors would have passed on to them,
Yep. Yep.
had we not been disturbed. And so there's even, with everything else, there's a lot of gatekeeping.
Hmm.
And so I wanted to directly combat that. Not everyone has $2,400 to take a 10-week permaculture course and
Hmm.
live on the land for 10 weeks. We have jobs, we have things to
Yeah.
do, we have to survive, but we also have to eat. And so I a big part of me, holding the classes and making them affordable is that, I want the knowledge is what's important, and I want people
Hmm.
to be able to get it digestibly,
Hmm.
and in a way that they don't feel overwhelmed, and they can take kind of an iterative approach to their own food security.
Certainly, certainly. And one of the best things about gardening, or like as a creative anyways, is being able to indulge in the fruits of one's labor. And when when you have garden and you get the fruit, you get the crop, and you're able to take that first bite and know that it is something created from your own hands,
Hmm.
is really, really a special feeling, and makes it even sweeter, I would say.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Harvest time is always so exciting. But I think I like each part of it. I like the
Yeah.
planting and the seeds, and when you see those
Mhm.
first kind of buds coming
Oh,
up out of the
yes.
ground, it's
Mhm.
they're your babies. I talk to my
Yeah.
plants all the time. You gotta, you gotta finesse them. They like,
Yes.
they like a little bit of a TLC.
Of
So
course they do. Of course they do. Well, how can people find out more about Melanin Farms and keep updated and get in contact and get classes and all of that? How are they able to do that?
so right now they can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. It's just Melanin Farms, all one word, on both platforms. They can also email for information. It's info@Melanin Farms, or they can call us directly. That's 240-579-1271. We will have an online store up soon, where people can order produce, and just, you can come pick it up at the farm at any time. And then we'll have a fall class schedule that should be out soon to teach people to, get ready and get prepared and get their spaces all together to plant in the spring.
Oh, awesome. Well, we're going to have those links in the description below so that our viewers can go ahead and check that out. Jamelle, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure getting to chat with you. And thank you for the important work you do in our community.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was great talking to you.
Awesome. Thank you too. To our viewers, please follow Team Racine Productions at Team Racine on all forms of social media. Click around our YouTube channel and check out our other interviews, vlogs, forums, and more. And while you're at it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.